Hey, did you know that Russia likes lying to its citizens? Because, you know, I knew that, but maybe the specific kinds of lies that it tells are a bit telling about what it wants its citizens to do. But before we get into that, maybe we should talk about fan art real quick to celebrate the people who decide that throwing anything at my channel that isn't a Rotten Tomato will help me. And, you know, they're actually right. I don't need the Rotten Tomato, but fan art is amazing. So let's get into that real quick. This piece of fan art here is from Halo Kitty 25. They said, I didn't expect this to be my first piece of Suris fan art, but here it is. Imposter Suris at the Georgia Capitol to support trans rights with his trusty turkey sandwich. But I never got that turkey sandwich. Also, I like that the character is showing that I am balding. Because I am balding. I'd show you on camera, but I don't know where my camera has gone. Many things have been moved around this room lately, so I have no idea where the fuck it is. But anywho, thank you very much, Halo Kitty 25. And if anybody wants to drop their fan art into the fan art section of the Discord, then it will eventually get shown here on the channel. So thank you very much for all of you who do throw that fan art out there. That said, guys, Russia is telling its reluctant soldiers that don't worry, when they die, they'll be resurrected. When you die, don't worry, God will just bring you back to life. That's cool, I guess. Hey, Hype Train completed level 2. Thank you, guys. So that's just a thing. Now, apparently it is. Russian President Vladimir Putin's ill-fated decision to invade Ukraine is so unconscionable that his propagandists, including Russian Orthodox Church, that is tightly controlled by the government, are having to resort to increasingly outlandish methods to recruit more volunteers and comfort broken-hearted families of soldiers who perished in Ukraine. From the beginning, Putin's loyal mouthpieces, like the state TV host Vladimir Solovyov, asserted that Russia's invasion of Ukraine is a holy war, pretending it would lead to a global jihad against the West. Huh? Okay, moving on. Deputy of the state, Duma, name I can't pronounce, claimed that Russia is the embodiment of the forces of good. That's why it's killing so many people, of course. He said, "This is truly a holy war we are raging and we must win." Major General Apti Aludinov, man, Russian names are hard to pronounce, the commander of the Chechen forces, who is himself a Muslim, claimed that Russia's war against Ukraine will lead to the second coming of Christ, describing Moscow's troops as the forerunners of Jesus's forces. So that at least tracks a little bit with how the Quran is worded, because, hold on, what the hell? The Quran basically does say that Jesus will come again, and that will signal the apocalypse. It shares that with the Bible because it's, you know, the weird bastard stepchild of the Bible. Not unlike the Book of Mormon, but not quite as silly, and with a little more nuclear fruit, all things considered. But with that said, that doesn't necessarily mean that what this person wants in their holy war is going to be the same as what another person wants in their holy war. Can you imagine if every Christian Muslim just automatically got along because they both want Christ to come back? Man, we'd actually live in a far more functional world then. Weird, right? And yeah, Jesus's forces. Apparently Jesus is going to be coming back from the dead again. But this time he's going to be coming wielding what? Just a field of holy AKs? Is this going to be like when Adam tries to do the whole genocide of hell thing again and again and again in Has Been? Is that all that's going on right now? Is we just have more of this? Okay. So Russia's still a superpower? Apparently. Cute Dark Arts says, Jesus Force, the newest Super Sentai Power Rangers show! Only on Nickelodeon. If you die in the war on Ukraine, you'll be isekai'd. That's gonna be the new isekai. That has to be a new isekai that comes out. I died invading Ukraine and woke up in another world. I swear to God, if that isn't an isekai that some deranged mangaka is making right now, if it is not being made right now, I don't know what kind of world I'm living in. Can you imagine an isekai where the main character is a Russian soldier who dies invading Ukraine? They wake up in another world and have to start life in effectively a country that is made up of nothing but other isekai individuals from various different circumstances. And nobody wants to admit to each other that they're not native to that world because they have no idea who's going to be hostile to them or not. But every night, the guy just sits there rocking back and forth in his chair going, man, I hope nobody finds out that I killed so many civilians. Man, I hope nobody finds out what I did with those tanks. I said, wait, hold on, you might be onto something. Like, I feel like that should be made right now. There's no way that somebody hasn't had, like, just one coked up night thinking of that idea and started putting pen to paper. Apparently, these assurances are not sufficient to ensure the steady stream of volunteers for the war to, you know, kill a bunch of Ukrainians, much less to calm down the families of the fallen soldiers. This month, Archpriest of the Russian Orthodox Church decided to up the ante and claimed that, let me just see if I'm reading this correctly. Yes. Soldiers fighting on Russia's side in Ukraine get resurrected after they are killed. Huh. That doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right at all. That sounds terribly inaccurate. In fact, I'm fairly certain that my religion actually states this exactly and to a T, and that runs completely counter to what's being claimed in Russia. After all, according to the holy texts, people die if they are killed. Said he resurrected. Yeah, hard doubt. Yeah, I doubt any of their priests have actually reached the adequate level in D&D to resurrect jack shit. Said hallelujah. Wait, do you mean that's not how that works? No. No, it's not. It's not. It's okay. My onk is off cooldown. Sure it is. Ukraine's armed forces estimate that Russia's military has suffered 451,000 casualties in the course of the war, which includes deaths and injuries. Estimates by the U.S. and British intelligence conclude that Russian casualties exceed 300,000. This further exacerbates Russia's growing demographic catastrophe and highlights the difficulties faced by the Kremlin in ensuring that they have enough men willing to continue this devastating war. Host of the TV channel Soyuz, Sergei Plantanov told Vladimirov that he often speaks to soldiers serving in Ukraine and has been trying to convince them that there is no such thing as death. Ah, yes! Mr. Soldier, the bullets just want to hug. They just want to be hugged by your flesh. That's all. It's not a death. It's nothing bad. It's not personal. We're not trying to have you die in a war. We're just trying to make it to where you fall down for a little bit longer than normal. You know, just like in Dungeons and Dragons. I don't think that their death saving rolls are going to work very well. Yeah, death has been patched out of the Ukraine war. Describing one of his recent conversations with a Russian soldier, the host proudly said, "Maybe I'm boasting, but I was successfully able to explain that death does not exist. He was encouraged by that." My guy, you have a bridge you need to be selling. You don't need to be a TV show host. You need to be a salesman. You would be a multi-quadrillionaire. There is no way in hell you have convinced people that death doesn't exist. Jesus Christ. Vladimirov played along and said, "In war, there are no unbelievers. When you are facing physical death, every fiber of your soul comes alive. Right now, there are many wonderful testimonies of Christ's victory over death, allegedly. My wife sends me many military testimonies and video clips. Before Lent, I watched a video about one Chinese man who participated in the special military operation. A bullet hit him in the stomach, destroying all of his insides. He cooled. No, I'm sorry, that's not what it says. He died from this and then was resurrected. If a bullet comes in and rearranges your insides and makes many of them smaller and more pasty than they originally were, I don't think you're coming back from that. Generally speaking, I don't think people usually come back from that. That's not usually what happens there, my guy. And yeah, no, everybody clapped. They all clapped their butt cheeks afterwards. They had to have. There's no way they couldn't have. Vladimirov continued to spin the tale, claiming Saint Luke of Crimea appeared to him and completely healed him. His insides were fully restored. He was baptized along with his relatives, all of them photographed together, dressed in white clothes, baptized into our Orthodox Church. Yes. And then they twerked about it. I believe him 110%, don't you? Why wouldn't you believe this person trying to tell you that bullets are just trying to get a hug? Did they all clap your cheeks? Damn, Suris, you fun. They didn't clap my cheeks. They clapped yours. With consent. Probably. But continuing on, the archpriest added that it is not the only miraculous testimony that Christ is visiting the soldiers who laid down their lives for their brethren. He is visiting them as his brothers, as blessed martyrs. Wait! How can there be martyrs? Hold on, that doesn't make any sense. How can there be martyrs? The bullets were just wanting hugs. You claimed that the bullets rearranged their insides, destroyed their insides, and they came back to life. They can't be martyrs at that point. They didn't fucking die. Unless they did die. In which case... I'm just imagining a body pillow of a bullet now. Everyone will die. Except you. You're special. No, I think I have evidence that it was your cheeks being clapped, Suris. Stuff! The only person you've drawn clapping my cheeks is a shop salesman from Ocarina of Time and myself. I don't think that anything else has entered my body by your hands. As far as I'm aware. As far as I know. Night, Zolta. Riddle says, yet. Riddle, you drew me being pounded by 2 cars. Hernia, this is not the conversation for you to come in. Not come in. God damn it! This is not a conversation for you to be here for. I already know that you draw incredibly, detailed fucking porn. I don't need this inside me. I'm on the internet. I don't need this on the internet. Fucking hell. Why is life like this? Why is everything like this? I give up. Platonov said that Vladimirov's tale of physical resurrection is an example of what should be a constant topic of conversation. He surmised, all of us talk on the internet. These stories should be constantly told. Death does not exist. Moisel of the Fae, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. Actually, Fungus says, so Jesus came back to life. Was he not martyred, or was he? I'm so confused. No, he had a nap for 3 days. And then he got back up. Renee says, Suris hentai. Enzo says, Suris ecchi. Look, okay, if I one day find out that I've become world famous because somebody drew a hyper-detailed fucking dojin or something, I'm gonna be impressed, but maybe a little disappointed in all of you. Jesus Christ. Vladimir wholeheartedly agreed, reminiscing about the archpriest Dmitry Smirnov, describing him as one of the first clergymen who united the Russian Orthodox Church with the defense ministry. That's a terrifying thing. You should not have the church and your military united. That's horrifying. Mosul the Face has walked in for the first time to hear that, so why not? I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. Ay, oy, oy. Describing him as one of the first clergymen, we already read that part. The thesis that death does not exist has already been incorporated into multiple state TV programs and even holiday specials, but it's now being endowed with new outlandish specifics. Vladimirov is no stranger to spreading idiosyncratic fibs. In 2019, he claimed to have communicated with Charles Darwin from beyond the grave and alleged that the scientist repented for his theory of evolution and renounced his own hypothesis about the origin of species. Ah, yes, that thing that my elementary school tried to tell me. It's the deathbed confession story, but like with extra steps for no real reason. That's cool. That's silly as shit. That's silly as shit. Also, yes, apparently Russia rang in the New Year's with cringeworthy entertainment and mean-spirited schadenfreude towards Ukrainians and Europeans who are left without food, heating, and water. And then Russia's state TV assured the troops death does not exist. What? Let's see here. What the balls? I don't speak Russian, so I have no idea what the fuck's going on.
Сегодня большой праздник. И, конечно, он семейный праздник. И хорошо бы, чтобы ребята,
It would be good if the guys who were in the trenches
были не
were not there.
Но придет время, и они вернутся.
But the time will come and they will return. It will be a celebration of our common victory. Do you know without which ingredient you can't make a Ukrainian borscht?
И немецкие сосиски. Без российского газа.
So you can't make all of this stuff without Russian gas. Does he know what a wood fire is? You can make a sausage over a wood fire. You don't need that.
Горячей воды и отопления. Представляете, какой ужас.
Let's see here. What else does he have? Now in Europe, they're opening a museum of hot water and heating.
Представляете, какой ужас. Приезжает Байден на
Biden comes to Europe to attend a NATO summit.
А там сидят Шольц
Schloss and Macron are sitting
и
there
в карты играют. На рубли.
and playing cards for rubles. I don't get it. Is this just making fun of the fact that people are possibly starving? I mean, they're not. Like, I have friends in Germany. The person who used to do the thumbnails for the channel, Yarakoro, they're in Germany, and I'm fairly certain that they're still eating.
Про Украину скажу только одно. При власти кондитера Порошенко жить украинцам было не сладко. А при власти комика Зеленского не смешно.
Okay, so for those who couldn't read it, he said they had a confectioner as the leader and life wasn't sweet. Then they had a comedian as a leader and life isn't funny. Do you get it? We're slaughtering countless civilians tomorrow and we just really need you to laugh at this. I don't get the joke. I don't get the joke. It's like, it's not even like that it's mean-spirited humor and therefore it's bad. It's that it... So, for a joke to work, it needs to have two things. There are two things it needs. Relatability and unpredictability. The punchline needs to be something that you can't see coming, or that even though you see it coming from a mile away, still works so well in spite of that. And relatability, because it needs to be something that when you hear it, there is an aspect of it that rings true to you. There needs to be some part of that humor that makes you go, ah, I understand that. So, as an example, if you remember when, Carl Benjamin, Sargon of Akkad, I don't know, whatever the cock his name was, when he did that whole "I wouldn't even rape you" comment, and then tried to play it off as a joke, actual comedians started talking about how that joke doesn't make any sense. And even the comedian that he cited as inspiration for that joke pointed out that his humor didn't even work, because for the "I didn't rape you" joke to work, the relatability aspect of that joke needed to be there. There needed to be some commonality for the listeners in the audience to understand that rape was not only funny, but common. And it doesn't work that way. That's the kind of joke that only really works on, like, Chan boards on the internet, where the only people who are spending time on there are incels that don't know what the touch of a woman is in the first place, and so rape humor's more funny to them. I can understand that side of the internet. I've been that side of the internet. And I can understand dark jokes being humorous, but when you're literally talking to a reporter about assault on women and you are trying to be a politician there, that kind of joke does not go over well, because you've made the terrible mistake of picking the wrong fucking forum for the joke. Again, that joke works on an anonymous Chan board, where everybody is there for the dark humor and the weird things people post on B. It's not in the middle of a fucking political conference. Absolutely goddamn not. Pick the fucking room. Since she need time to invest in a box of emergency snacks? Oh dear. Michelle K says, though there was some starvation protest to get the politicians to talk on climate stuff, which as far as I know seemed to get ignored by politicians. Brittle of Lightning says, comedy in the hands of a fascist is only used to push propaganda with a laugh track. Yep, and that's the other thing, like, you have to pick your targets wisely when you're doing comedy. This is why a lot of times when I make a joke, I try to make it at my own expense, because I know that I can take it, even though every single time I make one of those jokes, I get closer and closer to feeling like every single one of them is true, and then I start feeling like I'm invalidating myself, because if I put my floor as low as it is, then any accomplishment feels like it's actually worthwhile. Alternatively, I could make fun of my audience, but let's be honest, they do that job in the fan art already when they post mpreg of me, I guess. That's weird, Brittle of Lightning. You're a strange cookie. The humor doesn't work, and the idea that you can actually just convince an entire nation of people that death isn't real, the bullet is just trying to I drew you as not hungry, okay, as not pregnant, okay, I asked. You drew me as not pregnant? Okay, hold on. I guess I need to see what this one is now. Oh, okay. You unironically drew me as not pregnant. Pernia says, wait, did I miss Suris Mpreg? No, you missed, Suris not Mpreg? Huh. Well, sometimes you roll the dice and you roll a nat 1. You're a short motherfucker and nobody likes you. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Anyway, that's what's going on in Russia. They're lying to their people and telling them that bullets just want hugs. And they'll rearrange their insides, and it's fine. That's neat. Insert end of video tagline here. Hey, I just quickly want to give a thank you to all of my wonderful patrons who keep this show running. YouTube and Twitch are a pretty bumpy ride at the best of times, and the stability a Patreon provides me is worth more than I can say here. I'd also like to thank each and every one of my $20 and up patrons here, and they would be Red Joker, Blitzkrieg, Cameron, Dren, Jemshin, Smiling DM, Poundini, Mabbity Babbity, Naomi, Isaac, Nixie Chan, the Oberon team, Agamotto, Jordan, Ravi, Giuni, Kiratorian, Prisma, all of you, I'm not saying that part, and Starlight. And finally, thank you to everyone else that helps keep this channel alive. While you're here, why not check out another video? And thank you for watching.